Let's get started here. I have the pleasure of knowing very well our two subject matter experts. I'd like to introduce Leslie Rudd.
Hello, pleasure.
Leslie, how long have you been with us?
6 years now.
Hook that easy.
About 6 years now. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And Sal Perez. Sal, please introduce yourself.
Sal Perez, also known as Sal P. I've been with Angel Oak with 5 years now.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of experience on this call. I myself have been with Angel Oak for over 8.5 years. So look forward to kind of giving you guys a little bit more information on non-QM. So Leslie and Sal, like I said, we talked about condos, and one of the things I want to clarify, we do non-warrantable condos, and we do non-warrantable condos across all our programs. Today we're going to talk about Itin and foreign national, but what I want everyone to know, we do non-warrantable condos on bank statements, we do non-warrantable condos on our debt service coverage ratio program, also on Itin, on Itin and on our full doc program. So just want to make sure we clarify that. So Les, what in most cases, Leslie, makes a condo non-warrantable?
So I'll speak to what I usually see or the calls or scenarios that I usually get, and they typically are around either reserves or also investor concentration. So where we differ a little bit from agency, so standard agency is they need 10% reserves off the budgeted, so budgeted reserves and only budgeted reserves. Even though many condos have a separate reserve account set up, agency Fannie Freddie will not count that. We're different. We allow a combination of both budgeted reserves, and if they happen to have a separate reserve account, we will take that also into account. So we can combine those two. So that's one thing that's a little bit different. Again, that would make something non-warrantable. And the other one also, the big one is the percentage of investor concentration in a condominium. If it's an investment loan and they want to buy in a condominium, there can be no more than 50% investor owned in that condominium. So that's also a differentiator. Another one that's different also now is, and I don't know if this is throughout the country, I think it is. I know definitely here in the state of Florida, is that 40-year reinspection certificate that's required. We don't require that. So those are really the main things that I usually run into when I'm getting a call about a condo and, will we do non-warrantables? Those are the three big ones.
Yeah, and then Sal, anything else to add there? And 9 times out of 10, or 10 out of 10, when you call your account executive here at Angel Oak, they're going to ask you why is it non-warrantable. And as Leslie mentioned, it's usually investor concentration or reserves. Anything else, Sal, you want to add to and then I'll show them some resources and tools we have with regards to condos. Anything else to add there, Sal?
The only thing I could think of that's on a case-by-case would be a condo is in litigation, and there's something going on. More often than not, if it's something to do with a structural or something with the construction company or developer, those are a little bit more, delicate. But if it's in litigation, let us know, and we could send it up to our credit desk, and we could find out up front if we'll be able to do it or not.
Great point, Sal. Hey, I know there's been a couple of questions that come in. This is going to be recorded. If we don't get to your questions, please use that question box. But if we don't get to your question, your local account executive will be able to reach out to you. So one of the other things, I know, Leslie, you touched on it earlier about, a condo questionnaire, and more importantly, a condo questionnaire answer key. So on our website, and our website is really easy, and we're going to do everything today is on our website. It's very clean, very easy to navigate. So underneath our resources, we have what we here available to you 24/7. We have a condo questionnaire, and this is our condo questionnaire. It's pretty short and pretty sweet. Hopefully, Leslie, can you guys see this? Just want to make sure. Okay, yeah. Great. Thank you. So this is it's only 2 pages long. And then right next door to that, we have a condo questionnaire answer key where all the answers are on there. And this is the condo questionnaire, and then these are the answers on there. So we've got some questions coming in. Leslie, what about question on condo certificate on deferred maintenance?
So I don't believe does our condo questionnaire ask them, if there's deferred maintenance, then that's definitely going to be an issue. If that's revealed and that's shown to us, then yeah, that obviously will be an issue for us. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but thank you, Judy, for the question. Really appreciate it.
I would, if I can make one other point on that, about our condo questionnaire and documents. So we don't require the budget be sent to us. We just have the questions on there. That does ask about budgets. It does ask about reserves, but you don't need to send us any documentation. You don't need to send us the actual budget, which I know on the Fannie side they want that. So we just go off the questions that are answered on that questionnaire, and that's it.
Yeah. So hopefully, we answered some of those questions, and if there's more details, Judy, if you want some, we'll definitely hook you up with get you in touch with your account executive. So hopefully, we can answer all your questions in detail. So I know we said this was a deep product dive into Itin. So Leslie, let's get us going. I'm sorry, Sal's going to get us going on our Itin program. So I got to move a couple things here. I've got open. Hold on, Sal. So Sal, give us some highlights of our Itin program.
So our Itin program is dedicated for that borrower that does not have a social and has been filing, their tax returns with their Itin number. And, the Itin number is the individual tax preparer identification number. And there's quite a bit of these borrowers out there that are great borrowers. The loan is always performs well. It's a great loan. And as far as the highlights, we go to, $2.5 million, minimum loan amount 125. The Itin program falls under our Portfolio Select product, and it's 2-year seasoning on bankruptcy, primary only. That is a big thing, because sometimes I get these calls for investment or bank investment product and second homes, and unfortunately we can't do those right now. It's only on primary. DTI, like all our other programs, we go to 50%. Non-warrantable condos, like we were just talking about. This is another big one, 1 unit only. I do get calls, 2 unit, 3 units. Itin borrowers, they want to have the multifamily, they can't. Unfortunately, not yet. We do purchase, cash out, refi. We do all our transactions on this program. It's a great program for the borrower who has a hard money loan or has just trying to get a loan and hasn't been able to. We could accommodate them, and it's a great borrower.
Yeah. So Sal, so great job there. We launched this program. I think it's almost been a year now, maybe a little less, because it's an underserved borrower. And as Sal said, these loans perform really well. So I know a couple of questions here. Chris is asking, Leslie, do we allow an Itin borrower who has a Social Security number?
So they may have one, possible, but we go off of the Itin. So, and you can get a credit score with the Itin. So the credit report must be an Itin number. The application must indicate an Itin number. There are cases where people may have been issued Social Security numbers in the past, but that's not the borrower. We don't need that documentation. Again, it's all about the Itin number.
Yeah, so Sal's another great question here from John here. How does an Itin borrower have a credit score?
Well, on the Itin, they actually can get a credit score.
Yeah, so it's the ITIN number. It's the same amount of digits. I think Social Security is what is nine digits. So the ITIN number has 9 digits to it. It just starts with a 9. So
The 9, correct.
yeah, so they can and do. A lot of them do have a lot of good credit. So they pay their bills on time. They're just waiting to get their U.S. citizenship here. So keep the questions coming. Leslie, what about if a W-2? Well, no, that's the same question. It's also Social Security number. So minimum credit score. Leslie, give us our minimum credit score and our maximum LTV. It's right here. So
yeah, 680, 75 LTV. I heard the word W-2. I don't know if they were referring to the borrower. So I haven't seen it yet. That a W-2 ITIN. Those are typically, self-employed borrowers, gig guys are doing gig work or, construction or things of that nature. No, they may have a small business. And so typically those are self-employed. Now, the question becomes, can we combine an ITIN borrower and a W-2? Let's say a spouse, is a W-2 and the other's ITIN. That's fine. That's all good. We can do that.
yeah, so John, yes. So if you are working with an ITIN borrower or will be working with an ITIN borrower, I suggest they report their credit under their ITIN number. So that's just a recommendation there. Sorry guys, I'm just reading through a lot of questions coming in. Sorry. Yeah, so yes, John, they will need to establish. Yes, if there is a W-2, and Leslie touched on, if there is a W-2 borrower who happens to be an I-10 and they file their taxes underneath their I-10 number, yes, we will do that loan. So, yeah. So someone's saying here, agency will not do I-10 borrowers. So, that's another way. And we're going to show you how to market to these borrowers. But keep the questions coming. Sorry, they're coming in fast and furious. A lot of them are the same. So, so the question here, Sal, is can you do an I-10 borrower underneath the Dscr program or a bank statement program?
Unfortunately, not today. Nope.
Yeah. And Judy, yeah, well, definitely, you have a lot of questions about I-10, Judy, and they're very, very, very specific. We will get your account executive in touch with you. This is being recorded. We will get this recording out before end of day tomorrow. And if there are questions here that do not get answered, your account executive will reach out to you. Great questions. Sal, anything else, or Leslie, anything else to add regarding the I-10 before we move over to the foreign national? Because we know we get a ton of questions also regarding foreign national.
Nothing I can think of to add right now. I think we've covered it pretty thoroughly. So yeah, I can't think of anything else right now.
Call us before you say no. Call us to vet out the scenario and see if we could do it.
We have a little.
And call us first.
Yeah, absolutely, Sal. Sorry about that. So we have a few FAQs here underneath each one of our loan programs, and this I-10, I just want to reiterate, this I-10 is a full doc only program. So just make sure if they're self-employed, we're getting, a 2-year tax return. And if they're W-2, we're getting statements in year to date. So anyway, we're going to jump in. Leslie's going to cover foreign national. Got to move a couple things here. Sorry, Les. We'll get there in a minute. So let's just give us some highlights of our foreign nationals and then, some examples of stuff we're getting done too.
Sure. So the foreign national program, it's kind of one of our newer programs that we've come out with to address certain markets where there is a high activity of foreign nationals wanting to buy properties. We underwrite it under our DSCR program, debt service coverage ratio program, which I think most people are already familiar with that program. So it's really a subset of the DSCR program. So yeah, a couple highlights on this. Maximum LTV 70%. Minimum credit score 75,000. Max loan amount 1.5. DSCR 1-to-1 ratio. Right. So just to cover that again, kind of a little example of what the DSCR needs to look like. So when you order the appraisal, you're going to order it with the rent comps. So if it's a single family, the 1007, it's a 2-to-4, the 1025 form. Whatever that rental income comes in as, we give you 100% credit, and that is your cash flow. So that cash flow must cover the PITI A payment on the subject property on a 1-to-1 basis. So if we got a PITI of $1,000, that cash flow, rental cash flow, must be $1,000. Okay, so that is the qualifier. That's the only qualifier on this deal. So a couple other things. Assets. Most of our programs we require 30-day assets. On the foreign national, we require 60 days. Okay, and it must be in a USA FDIC. Very important. That's an FDIC bank. A minimum of 30 days before closing. So if you got a borrower that has their assets in their foreign country, in their home country right now, all good. Just obviously they have to transfer it, and they must be in the US for 30 days. So we will want their last statement from the previous month to complete the 60-day seasoning. So if they already have an account in the US and it's already been here 60 days, all good. Just give us 60-day seasoning. This one, again, a little more reserves than our typical loan. Typical loan, we want 6 months reserves. On this one, we do want 12 months reserves. We do set them up with an ACH auto payment. Again, think about it. Most of those folks are in their foreign country, and it's hard for them to make a payment. So this just is very easy to capture that payment. So we do have a list of sanctioned countries. That's called the OFAC list. You can go online and look up the OFAC list countries. Those basically are the naughty boys that we don't want to do any business with. So you're Russians, and no offense to anyone who's Russian nationality, but obviously right now, there are certain countries, Sudan, Iran. Those are things that come up to mind right away. But we can get that list out to you also. Cannot reside in the US. So again, this is a loan for a true foreign national, someone who resides overseas and wants to buy an investment property in the United States. So what documentation do we need? I need a 1003 with a primary residence in their home country. Okay, just like DSCR, we don't require income. We don't want any income stated, nor do we need any employment information either. So this is about as no doc a program as you can get. We do not require any employment information, any employment history. On this one also, we do not require credit. So we do not pull any type of credit report. We don't require credit reference letters of any sort. All you need is a valid visa and an unexpired passport. And again, here on the bottom, it'll tell you the acceptable visas. Most folks will have the B1, B2, which is the visitor's visa. Again, we can share with you also a list of what are called there are certain countries that a visa waiver program. Most of those are European countries or real friendly countries like Japan and so forth. So those folks actually don't even require a visitor's visa. They're exempt from obtaining that. Also on this one, no gifts allowed, just like all our investment programs. So we want to make sure that whatever funds they have are seasoned and they're their own funds. And again, max loan amount on this one is $1.5 million. So really no reason to have to get a second appraisal unless we get an exception. But those are the basics on the foreign national. Again, there's a lot of activity on these.
Sorry, Les. Yeah, so Leslie touched on something, and Sal, the next question I'll get to you on is, here's a list of countries that are on that OFAC list. So it's found on the government website. Just do a Google search for OFAC countries, and it'll give you a list of those countries. And as Leslie said, there's also a list of visa waiver countries, and that's easily, and all they require is a valid passport. Sal, a couple questions coming in here. Sal, does this foreign national have a prepayment penalty?
It does. It does have our standard 3-year prepayment.
Yeah. So and then Kelsey's asking the question. Does the sorry. Yeah. So yeah, Kelsey, we don't want to know if they have a residence here, a primary. Their primary has to, as Leslie mentioned, has to be in that foreign country. That's all we need to know. So just
it's questions? Okay that they, I'm sorry, John, to interrupt.
Yeah, no.
It's okay that they own other properties in the U.S. That's fine. They can have second homes. They can have investment homes. That's quite all right. But they must reside. At least the 1003 has to tell me they're residing in their home and from their country of origin. So the primary address on the 1003 must be an address from their country of origin. And we don't get involved any more than that. We're not asking for a housing history. We don't care if they rent or their own. That doesn't matter. Address has to be an address from their country of origin.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Sal, just touch a little bit more on the prepayment penalty, please.
So on all our investments, we have a 3-year prepayment penalty. There is a rate benefit if you option in for a 4-year prepay. It'll be an 1/8 off the rate. They could also option for a 2-year or a 1-year prepay. Now, if they want to buy out the prepay altogether, that we don't have that as a rate add-on. It will have to be a fee of 1 point.
Yeah, thank you. And then Joel's asking, Leslie, Joel's asking about, do all the borrowers on the application need to have a valid visa? So, I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Sal, another question, Kent wants clarification, and Leslie covered it earlier, but about the funds sourced and seasoned, if you could just reiterate what we require for the foreign national.
So it's a total of 60 days. 30 of those 60 have to be in the U.S. in an FDIC insured bank.
Perfect. Good questions coming in. Okay, anything else, you guys? So one of the things that I've been talking about with foreign nationals a lot lately is, with all this geopolitical unrest throughout the world, we're starting to see this product tick up a little bit. So, and then also think of other ways to market. We're going to show you our marketing portal, but specifically with foreign nationals, think of other ways to market. A lot of foreign nationals love to send their children here to study abroad in the U.S. So if you're around a large university, think of that. They're sending their child to that university or college, and they don't want their child to rent for those number of years. They end up buying that property as an investment, where maybe their child and another roommate are renting from there. So think of things like that. Maybe marketing this program around the large universities. So anything else, Sal or Leslie, regarding foreign national?
The other thing I would just add, again, we were talking about the assets being in the U.S., and that would include the reserves also. So all cash to close plus the 12-month reserves have to be in the U.S. 30 days. Thank
you, Leslie. Appreciate it. So, so without further ado, we're going to get on to, we're going to talk about one of our tools here, which is our quick quote. And Leslie, take me through a scenario, say for an Itin. So let me get back to the home page and show people again how they can get to this. So you can get to our non-QM quick quote 2 ways. It's here at the top of the page or right here in the middle left of the page. And this is available 24/7. Go ahead, Les, take me through a scenario.
So channel type, almost all our brokers. So let's select broker as a channel type. Scroll down. Let's just work some 400,000, well, 350.
Oh, okay, I'll do 400,000. I like your
I'll
style.
drive you bus, but that's right. Yeah, credit score, let's do a 65. You know, most people put credit bit down. So full doc, scroll down. There you go, Itin, thank you.
And 30-day. And so this is what you can come up with a rate of 8.625 at par, right? It's going to tell you your borrower is eligible for a 75%. And
Yeah.
again, as Sal mentioned, this falls under our portfolio select. So don't be confused. It's just we internally, it's housed underneath our portfolio select. So, but it is, as long as you put the borrower type in there as an I-10, it'll display the correct information for you. And then it's going to show you, your bankruptcy seasoning, your housing event, the reserves required, and your lock duration. So, and then below here a little bit, it gives you some high-level overview of some other high-level needs that we have. So, a lot of questions we've got here is, how do I get you a pre-qual? So, let's show people how to get us a pre-qual.
Sure. So let's identify a view rate. Just right now, keep it at par, 8.65. That's fine. And then select option. There you go. Okay. Then it'll take you to this next page. For here, you really don't need the MISMO file. Just hit the next button. All right. Then here you have a couple drop-down boxes. You identify your account executive. Any one of those will do. They're all fantastic account executives. You then get just some information, your company, loan officer, NMLS ID, your phone number, email, borrower, and the state. All right. Then you'll see a couple drop-down buckets. In this case, we just need the 1003, the PDF form of the 1003, drop it into that bucket, and then the credit report into the other bucket. That's all we need for now. Then you just scroll down to the bottom, to the end, and you just hit that blue submit button. Once that's done, that's sent to us via secure server. We'll get it immediately in our inbox, and your account executive will then go ahead and start vetting out the loan, obviously reviewing the 1003 and the credit. So I always talk about this process, think of it really as a manual DU process, right? So when you're running typical DU, you're just, your 1003 and credit report, and it reads it and you get your approved eligible. Well, this is basically the same thing, just on a manual basis. So we're thoroughly going through that credit report, vetting out the credit report, making sure that we have the required trade lines and it meets all our credit criteria. Obviously, pulling information that you've given us on the 1003. Then based on that, we prepare a quick call and we send that to you. And basically, it's just like an approved eligible. In fact, when you read it on the upper right-hand side, it will say approved eligible. So that's that process.
Yeah, so thank you, Leslie. And what's the turn times for, getting a quick qual, pre-qual back to the loan officer?
As long as I'm sitting at my desk, you get within 10 minutes. It's just, yeah, I mean, we're always at our desks. Sometimes if one of your, account reps is maybe out on the road, it might take them a little while. You definitely will always get it within 24 hours, but and usually much sooner than that.
And as Leslie said, they're basically pre-underwriting this file. So, it's really important to have all the fields filled out on the loan application. We talk about, one of the account executives here talks about it as the DNA of the borrower. So, it helps us, tell the story for the borrower and why, why we should do this loan. So I do want to back up here. Edward's asking about a question regarding a foreign national, and do we require a credit report or credit score for our foreign national? If you can clarify that for Edward.
Absolutely not. No. Go ahead. Sorry, Leslie.
I'm sorry. No credit requirement whatsoever. I don't need an international credit report. I don't need credit reference letters of any sort. As I was mentioned earlier, it's about as no DACA loan as you could possibly ask for.
Yeah, we're not asking tax returns. We're not asking nothing. It's just how that subject property for that foreign national subject property cash flows, and it has to cash flow at a 1-to-1 ratio. So thank you, Les. Thanks, Sal. So, hey, Sal, we've talked about how to market this, so, let's show people how we can help them grow their business in this, the time of, refis basically haven't all but gone away. But one thing I do want to back up, and I apologize, that quick quote tool does not require us to have, or you to have login credentials. And this question we always get, we didn't get this today, but Leslie, will you do a pre-qual on a TBD?
Oh, sure, absolutely, all day long. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, that's how you know your borrower's pre-qualified then to, go out and, shop for, whatever home they're looking for.
Right. Yeah. So, and we really respect your referral relationships and your relationships you're building through your referral source, not just for borrowers and realtors. So, so Sal, let's go through our website where you do need login credentials.
Correct. So once logged in, you'll see the tabs on top, from left to right: welcome, pipeline, add new loan. The marketing portal is where you want to be for our marketing material. And there, once you click on that, you'll see a selection. And John, where you are with the flyers, that's going to be where most LOs, want to get their flyers and their marketing information that they could print out, they could send out as an email. It's just, I always get great feedback, and people are just, always wowed by that we offer this, and that it's customized to their company, their name, and it's a great tool, and everybody seems to appreciate it. Sometimes, we the AEs will, if they're out on the road and they're going to a presentation, we could also get involved if we're not too busy, and do this for them and send it out and have them readily available. I recently did it for someone who was in the car on the way to an open house, and she was just overwhelmed that I was able to do that for her, and she was able to send it out, text it to the borrowers that were there at the open house.
That's impressive, Sal. So that's really impressive. Now you're going to make some AEs have to do some other stuff. But
Thanks.
So one of the things, Sal, when they fill out this information, and you can see how many great flyers we have out here. We also have them in Spanish, and if they fill it out for one flyer, it populates all the flyers on our website. So we're not asking you to go in each different flyer that we have, and we have close to, you can see at least 24. We're not asking you to fill this out for each individual flyer. We make it really easy, and as one of our AEs says, Angel Oak is really invested in helping you grow your business, and I truly believe that. I just, I wish more people would take advantage of this, and now during this kind of soft time, we really should be. So, Sal, talk to us about some social media.
So on the social media, we have, the templates that are already, pre-made, ready for your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, ready to go. And, and they're just, they cover, like you said, high level, basic information, but that gets interest, that gets people to ask questions, and you could build a relationship and go from there to see if they, if it fits their need. Another great tool and technology feature that we have.
Yeah, and as Sal mentioned, this is for Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn. We have developed the content too, not just the image. We've developed the content around there for whether it's realtor facing or borrower facing. So we've done it all for you. All you have to do is cut and paste. I strongly urge you guys to start using this. It's a different way to grow your business. And then lastly, Sal, let's talk about, which I think, is one of the most powerful presentations, anyone can do for their referral source.
A realtor.
Yep.
The presentation. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know if Sal's having an audio problem, but we've developed this PowerPoint presentation for you to deliver to your referral source, which are your realtors. And the great thing about it is, you know, any one of our account executives, you know, you don't have to be the subject matter expert. We have subject matter experts all over the country and willing to do it by Zoom or in person on your behalf. They will present on your behalf, go in there, they don't say anything about Angelo. I kind of say they go in there like they're in the witness protection plan. They just go, and I'll use Edward because Edward asked some great questions here. If I'm going in to present, or Sal or Leslie or any of the account executives going in to present with Edward, they're going to talk about all our programs, not just I-10, not just foreign national. They're going to talk about bank statement. They're going to talk about debt service coverage. They're going to talk about our full doc programs. They're going to talk about our asset qualifier program. They're going to talk about it as a subject matter expert on Edward's behalf. So when questions come up regarding bank statements, someone asked someone about, hey, Sal, what is this LTV on this bank statement? Edward doesn't need to be an expert. Sal will answer that question, and you'll say, so what are you going to do when you have a self-employed borrower? You're going to call Edward. Nothing about Angelo. I know I get kind of over the top on this part because it's great, and it's a little frustrating because people don't take advantage of that. And the ones that do are very, very successful. I promise you. You know, not talking about foreign national I-10, but you talk about bank statements. If you get 12 realtors in a room, you will probably get one of their loans, because 9% of the loans we close are actually for realtors. So, sorry, Sal, I get pumped up. Anything else to add, Sal, regarding marketing or Leslie regarding marketing?
No, I was just you kind of stole a little bit what I was going to point out about us, you know, willing to get on Zoom calls, willing to go on presentations. Exactly as John said, we're there as your subject matter. We're not there to pump Angel Oak or anything. We're just there as, you know, a resource, an investor of yours, however you want to present us. And we're there just to fill your referral sources with knowledge on these loans that, you know, they may not be aware of. And it's just the ability to capture that one or two extra, you know, maybe 3 extra deals that they didn't think was available to them. So I just want to reiterate that.
Very well said, Les. So Sal, anything else regarding marketing or in closing that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I tell everybody, just don't say no until you talk to us. You know, give us a call. We'll run through the scenario. If we can't do it, and we heard that, you know, one of our competitors could, we're not ashamed to refer you to someone else, because at the end of the day, it's a relationship business that you just want to get that deal done, no matter, even if it's not with Angel Oak, you just want to help out our clients. So I tell everybody, before you say no, call Angel Oak.
Yeah, and Sal and Leslie aren't gonna, you know, beat their chest about this, but I promise you, you call Leslie, Sal, or any of our account executives across the country, they're gonna, you know, almost always answer that phone. And if they don't, like if they're Sal and Leslie, unfortunately aren't answering their phones right now, but they're going to call you back very quickly. So, and as Sal said, if we can't do it, we're experts in the non-QM space.
In the space, yep.
We'll try to help you out. So, so Leslie, anything else in closing?
Well, just to jump on, kind of draw it out a little bit more. You know, and Sal was talking about, call us with your scenarios. Okay, we love talking scenarios. That's why I love the non-QM space. It's not cookie cutter like agency. You know, it's very cut and dry. This isn't. There's a lot of nuance around deals, and we are really easily accessible and love to talk deals all day long. So if you've got, like Sal, call before you say no. So we really love that, and it's really, we get a lot of feedback from a lot of loan officers, how accessible we are, and we take great pride in that.
Yeah, very well said, Les. Yeah. So, and again, you know, just don't, you know, before you say no, reach out. But I really challenge everyone on this call, you know, to really be proactive and market to this space. You know, refis, like we said, refis have all but dried up. You know, we're all, going into Q4, and usually Q4 is where non-QM shines. So traditionally has been our biggest quarter. So again, this is recorded. We will get this recorded out before end of day tomorrow. Sal, Leslie, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day. For everyone on this call who has closed along with Angel Oak, we really appreciate your business and look forward to continuing to help you grow. For those who haven't, give us a shot. Again, as I started the call with for all of our friends and families who are in Florida, thoughts and prayers are with you guys. And we'll get, we continue to do these series. We will continue them next month. I don't have the specific dates yet, but if you registered for this, we will get this out to you, and we'll get you'll get an email for the future webinars that we're having. So thank you on behalf of Angel Oak. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You guys.
Bye.